would dream about life and wonder just how sweet it would be. But baby, I got lucky when I met you that night. Now you'll always have this promise from me. No matter how high I get, I'll always look up to you. You'll always be number one, I'll settle for number two. You've always been there for me. Baby, I must confess, I'll always look up to you, no matter how high I get. Up here on the mountain, it gets crazy sometimes. So crazy I don't know what to do. When I've had it up to here with all of their lies, I can count on you to tell me the truth. No matter how high I get, I'll always look up to you. You'll always be number one, I'll settle for number two. You've always been there for me. Baby, I must confess, I'll always look up to you, no matter how high I get. You are the one that turned me around. You help me keep my feet on the ground. No matter how high I get, I'll always look up to you. You'll always be number one, I'll settle for number two. You've always been there for me. Baby, I must confess, I'll always look up to you, no matter how high. No matter how high I get, I'll always look up to you. You'll always be number one, I'll settle for number two. You've always been there for me. Oh, baby, I must confess, I'll always look up to you, no matter how high. No matter how high I get, I'll always look up to you. You'll always be number one, I'll settle for number two. You've always been there for me. Oh, baby, I must confess, I'll always look up to you, no matter how high.
That was No Matter How High by the Oak Ridge Boys. And with me today, the Oak Ridge Boys, Joe, Steve, Dwayne, and Richard. How you guys doing?
We're doing fabulous. I don't think we could be doing any better.
Okay, I'll tell you what, their last album was called Unstoppable, and they are unstoppable. The new album is The Long Haul.
That's right. The Long Haul, it's our second on RCA, and not for sure when you're going to see this at home, but as we speak, it has just now come out in June.
Right, and fantastic album, really great. Now I'm going to kind of talk to each one of you guys separate, and I think we'll start with Dwayne. You can use that one right there.
That's fine.
I guess you, among the current Oaks, have been with the Oak Ridge Boys the longest, right?
Well, I've been here for a little over 26 years, but the main success has come with the Oak Ridge Boys foursome that you see now, or in the previous time when we had William Lee Golden with us. Most people know us from about the last 15 years, which includes the years that we were in country music. Years before that, we were a gospel group, well-known gospel group. And we had, three of us were the same even back then. So we've all been together so long, we've known each other for such a long time. Our thoughts have been in this direction, or we wouldn't all actually be here. This is one of those type of things that you want to be a part of, and once you become a part of it, you start to see your dreams come true. You start realizing that it's a group force, and we all think a lot alike, although we're totally different individually in a lot of our things that we do and things that we all enjoy doing personally. When it comes down to the Oak Ridge Boys and what we want to try to accomplish as a group, we usually find ourselves in pretty much one accord on most everything.
Okay, but that's what I wanted to kind of get into, the differences now. I didn't know you had operatic training when you were younger.
You know, that's the only type of training that was available when I was going to college. There were not any specialist types of school except in special types of classical, either opera or studying the British style from the London Philharmonic Orchestra type of setting, which is even still more formal than the Metropolitan Opera. You could just go deeper into classical. You couldn't branch into rock or to country or gospel. There was no such training. So I really rebelled against studying music for my first 5 semesters in college. I didn't really want to be an opera singer. I wanted to do what I'm doing now. I didn't really know that it would wind up in country. All I could see back then was gospel. And I really wanted to be someone who could contribute to make it better, as opposed to trying to force my classical training on someone. I just wanted to hear something more than 3-chord harmony.
Right.
I wanted to hear a few of those minors and lots of those nice chords come into songs. I got to hear that done with the Oak Ridge Boys long before we were ever popular as a country group. We did some pretty astounding things as a gospel group, and I felt like then that I had reached my goals. I didn't know that I had a whole new set of dreams and a whole new set of plans that lay not too far ahead that would wind up in country music. And right now, I'm very happy to be in the middle of country music, and I've seen those same kind of dreams become realities right here. It's a very good feeling, but yes, it is a long way from the Metropolitan Opera to the Grand Ole Opry.
Didn't know you were in for the long haul.
I've been waiting for that.
Okay, Richard,
Yes.
you want to share with him, or isn't he allowed to talk?
Oh, I'll talk a little bit.
Okay, you're from Philadelphia?
Well, originally Camden, New Jersey, which is right
Oh,
across the
Joe's
river
from Philadelphia. Okay.
Yes,
And you started out in gospel, is that right?
that's true. In fact, the first singing that I ever did, believe it or not, was as a boy soprano in Sunday school.
A boy.
Yes,
A
and
soprano.
obviously I'm not a boy soprano any longer.
Obviously.
Now I'm a basso profundo.
Right.
As long as the road
Yes.
from the opera to the opera is
Yes.
the soprano to the bass, isn't it?
That's right. Okay, did you sing with J.D.
Yes, I
Sumner
did.
and the Stamps?
For almost 2 years, I sang with J.D. Sumner and the Stamps Quartet.
And did some backup for
And
Elvis?
did some backup work for Elvis, that's correct.
Okay. And one thing now that you're interested in now, did you buy another baseball club? Because you had the Nashville Sounds, I think, the last time we talked to you.
Well, that's true, and the same people that own the Nashville Sounds also, with the same partnership of men, own a team in Huntsville, Alabama as well. So there's 2 teams actually.
Dare I ask how they're doing?
Kind of so-so, kind of mediocre this year.
Right. And you have antique cars. No, you don't have antique
Dwayne's the
cars.
antique
Dwayne has the
car
antiques
man.
cars. Okay,
Yes.
I'm reading all this and trying to.
I might also add, though, that Richard's major league team, the Toronto Blue Jays, are doing real good. They're going to probably draw 4 million people this year. Very few people know that Richard owns the Toronto Blue Jays.
Richard owns the Toronto Blue Jays.
That's a little-known fact.
Richard might wish he owned the Toronto Blue Jays.
I don't know, the way things are looking for baseball right now, I don't know that I would want to be involved with those headaches that they have right now.
Right. Okay, and Steve,
No, that's me.
that's you. You, I guess, have known the Oak Ridge Boys longer than any of these guys, but you're the last regular member, right?
Yes, I am. I've been singing with the guys now going on 6 years. And I was in the band. I played guitar for 6 years before that. So I've been with the Oak Ridge Boys for 12 years. And I've known them since they were gospel singers, because that's what I started doing when I was 5 years old. And so I sort of grew up with these guys, and we worked a lot of shows together, and watched each other sing, and played a lot of the same stages, and now we're doing them all together now.
Right, okay, well, you said gospel, but other than that, now, you did some stage work and film, right?
Yes, I did. During my early teen years, from like 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, I was involved with, the first thing was a Broadway musical that I did in New York called The Yearling. And then I went from there. I did a lot of television shows like The Ed Sullivan Show and To Tell the Truth and shows like that, Gunsmoke and whatever. A major motion picture produced and directed by Otto Preminger called Hurry Sundown. But singing has always been my first love, and that's what I'm still doing, and that's what I prefer to keep doing.
Well, I'm glad you're singing because I hate to tell you, I don't remember you doing any of that other stuff.
Oh, yeah, but let me
I
tell you
barely
something.
remember too.
Let me tell you something. Some night, though, when you're sitting at home and you're flipping around and you see an old Gunsmoke rerun, and you see Steve actually kill a man.
Yeah.
And it's actually a long way, Joe, from Gunsmoke to Branson.
It's been a long road, and I guess you might say we are in it for the long haul.
That's
and
right.
This title of our new album works out real well for the way that we work and live.
And you
our
know, it
lives.
is really true, though, that you know, they replay all them old Gunsmokes. And there are
Right.
some nights you'll see little Steve on Gunsmoke with Michael and Cyrah, and it's
That's it.
kind of fun. You got it? You got it?
I can catch some old reruns of myself sometimes.
Well, right, well, you said Little Steve. You did sing as Little Stevie Sanders, didn't you?
They used to call me Little Steve Sanders, yes.
I can see you standing there in little
That's-
shorts and white high shoes with ruffles around. That's what I picture as Little Stevie Sanders.
Well, close, but I never wore ruffles.
Ah.
Maybe
Okay.
there was at one time.
Okay, and Joe.
Yes.
Okay, you're from Philadelphia.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Tell us
you-
about the cow.
Tell you about, okay, tell us about the cow.
Well, we were at the FBI yesterday, and we did a big promotion with the local country station and the FBI on an anti-drug campaign kind of thing. And the director of the FBI, William Sessions, signed our hats.
That's right.
So we have a signed hat by the director of the FBI upon my head.
Fantastic.
Yes, that's the story of the FBI cap.
Cap, I thought you said cow.
No, the FBI cow's outside. It's in disguise.
Oh,
You
okay.
don't know it's a cow. It looks a lot like a Buick.
Oh, okay. Okay, now you have that cap signed by the FBI.
Yes.
But you used to be a member of a street gang.
At one time, that's.
How's that for a segue?
He's trying to paint a different picture. Let's
Yes,
put it
I'm
like-
trying to show myself as an all-American Federal Bureau of Investigation young man, but actually, it wasn't so much that I was a member of a street gang per se, although I was. That's been blown out of the proportion by the press just a little bit over the years. But I grew up in the streets of Philadelphia, and it wasn't always easy. There was a lot of different roads to go down, and it's a long way from the alleys of Philadelphia to, to the hollowed halls of the FBI.
And a long way from the street gang to the head
Well,
of the
yes, it is.
FBI.
The reason I didn't make it as a street gang person is because I was way too positive. I've always had a very hard time with the negatives, and most of that was negative energy all the time. And that's why I broke away from it, and that's why I got interested. Again, the common thread through all of our whole group is gospel music. And when I was a young man of 14, 15 years old, I started to go and listen to the gospel quartets, even the old Oak Ridge Boys at the time, and the Blackwoods and the Statesmen and the Couriers. And I was very much influenced by the energetic message of the gospel. And it changed my life back then, and I pursued a career of gospel music and always tried to do it with that energetic rock and roll Philly feel that I've always had. And I joined the Oak Ridge Boys in 1973, the greatest thing I've ever done, and I'm also to this day in 1992 very proud to be here and very proud to add what it is that I add with my background and musical experience to this group. It's fun being here.
Yeah, well, we're proud of having you with us today, too. And the album, The Long Haul, is just great. Richard, the song To Stay With You.
Stay with me.
Stay with me.
Stay with me.
If you would sing that for me, I would stay with you. The most beautiful
That's a good
song
song,
on
isn't
the
it?
album.
It's a
is
good one.
Well, thank
that's-
you very much.
Okay, and when you see it, look for it. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. From my point of view, the best thing the Oaks have ever done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Would you take us back to the show and introduce the video, and we'll see it?
I'd be glad to. Our very first single from the Long Haul album, and our very first video, I might add also, is a song called Fall, a very poetic piece written by Don Von Tress, the same young man who wrote Achy Breaky Heart for Billy Ray Cyrus. And we think this song is a fabulous song. The songwriter and the singer, Dwayne Allen, being the lead singer in the song, kind of talks about the fact that he doesn't like the connotations of the word fall. And the chick is trying to push him more into falling in love quick. And he's saying, whoa, wait a minute, I'd like to ease into this just a little. I'd like to be in it for the long haul. So let's just take it a little slower here. It's a very poetic piece, and I think we have a real good video with it too. The song's called Fall.
You say you never fell before. This time you must have slipped. now you know how it feels. You say you've always watched your step, but this time you must have tripped and went head over heels. Now you say it feels so good, and you want me to fall too. What a crazy thing to ask someone you love to do. No, I'd rather not fall. Fall leads the river on, then it pulls the bottom out and throws him over the edge. At first it feels real good, but he's halfway down when he sees there's real trouble ahead. Above the ragged rocks below, he wonders, was it worth the thrill? 'Cause if the fall don't do him in, then the sudden stop surely will. No, I'd rather not fall. Just let me slip into this slow and easy. I got my sights set on the long, long haul. I believe we're headed for the same place, baby. Let's change this pace to a slow crawl. I'll walk in standing tall, but I'd rather not fall. Fall takes a shooting star and it burns it to a streak of disappearing light. And when the darkness falls, it turns away the sun and leaves us here in the night. Steals the green from the trees and paints them red and gold. Leaves them standing there in the winter air with their branches bare and cold. No, I'd rather not fall. Just let me slip into this slow and easy. I got my sights set on the long, long